integumentary system or the skin, right? And the hypodermis is the last layer. Hypodermis. Yes. So we are going to discuss about these three things today. Okay. Now we come into epidermis first. Okay. Now epidermis have three layers. The first layer is called the malpighian. Alright. The second layer is called the granular, and the third layer is called the malpighian, granular, and third is cornified. Yes. Okay, so you can take a screenshot also. Okay, now malpighian. First, malpighian is the innermost layer of our skin, right? It's the innermost layer. For example, this is a skin, not skin, epidermis. Okay, so there are three layers. So this layer is the innermost layer of the skin, right? Not skin, yes, epidermis. Then we come into the granular, this, and then the third is the cornified, right? So these are the three layers, okay, of the epidermis. Now here we can see that the malpighian is here in the innermost. Now what happens usually in malpighian, there are some cells called melanocytes or melanin, right? Melanin, right? And what are the functions of the melanin? Melanin detects the skin color, right? It detects the skin color. Okay, that is malpighian. Now, okay, it detects skin. More the melanin is there, the darker our skin. And if there is low percentage of melanin, so our skin will not be dark as much. Okay. Now the next is yes. Okay, the next is the granular. Okay, the granular is the second one, and it doesn't have any basic things. So basic things are there. There are some cells, is the dead cells, right? Dead cells and alive cells also. So there are some things. Then we have cornified. And in cornified is the uppermost layer which we can see here, right? Now in cornified there are dead cells present. There are dead cells present. Then we have dead cells, and yes, dead cells. Then it is waterproof. And dead cells, then it is waterproof. Then also it protects the body from the bacterial infections. Protection. Okay, so these are the functions of these three layers of the epidermis, right? Now, okay, now we can understand that what are the three layers of the epidermis. Second we come to the dermis, right? After dermis, let's come to the dermis. Let's rub the bone. Yes. Now it's okay. Now for example, this is the skin. Okay, this is the inner part of the skin. This is the epidermis, this is the dermis, and this is the subcutaneous tissue. So dermis is a very large. Okay, it's very large, and in dermis only there are sweet glands, right? These are the pores of the sweet glands. Okay, in upper of the cornified, then there are hair follicle. Okay, there are blood capillaries that are coming here. Then we have subcaseous organ. Okay, then we have yes, not then. Okay, Now it's okay. Now in the dermis, this is the part, this is the dermis, right, dermis, and this is a tough, it is very tough and dense, right, it's very tough elastic. Now, tough and hard. Now what happens basically, why do we sweat? Why do we sweat? Because of the sweat glands here that produce water, and the water goes to the hair and they form a bubble like this. Because of the hairs only, because this is the root of the hair and this root is called the hair follicle. Because of the hair follicle only our hairs grow. And why do we get pimples on our face? Because there is subcutaneous gland here, right, and it produces the sebum. Sebum is a chemical substance which helps us to, sebum is a chemical substance which helps the skin to keep dry, right. Now what happens basically, we know that in cornified there are dead cells, right, we know about it. Now what happens basically, as we grow higher, the dead cells come here and block the area from where the sebum secretes up from the cornified, right, it secretes from the hair follicle, the pores of the hair follicle exit, right. So it comes there and block that area. Now what happens, the sebum is produced. Now what happens, one day it will come that the sebum is produced and it makes a bump, because it's not going up, it's not exiting, right, it's not getting exit. So, and it's not getting out of the body, right, that is why it will form a bump there, and that bump is called the pimple, right, that is how the pimples get on our face. Okay, and these blood capillaries come, they transfer the blood, right, and these also from example, you can watch my nervous system video also. So for example, there is nervous system and the CNS is there, and there is PNS. Now, right, CNS and PNS. Okay, now what happens that yes. Now, okay, CNS and PNS, what happens? These are the blood capillaries, and PNS gives instructions to it, and when we touch any hot or cold thing, when we sense anything from our skin, so that sensory information goes to the nervous system, to the PNS, peripheral nervous system. Okay, then the peripheral nervous system decides what to do it. So it decides something and it sends the information to that. That is why if we get fire in our house, for example, so we run away. That's the decision of the PNS. Okay, now this is in the dermis. Next is that subcutaneous tissue, and it is also called the hypodermis. And this is the subcutaneous tissue, and it is also called the hypodermis. It's also called the hypodermis, right? Hypodermis. Yes. It is also called a hypodermis. Now, the main function of it is to store fat. It stores the fat, right? So this is the role of the hypodermis. Okay. So now we are clear with the concept of the epidermis, the layers of the epidermis. You can watch the previous video, part 1, then dermis, then nervous system. Okay, not nervous system. Yes, then hypodermis. So this was only a short video about part 2. Okay, I hope you like this video, and you can also watch part 1. I am again saying, okay, and this is part 2. Now, in the next, if you want another series of biology, so please can subscribe my channel, and if you like this video, I hope you like it. So please give a big thumbs up to it. I will come with an interesting video another time. So till then, thanks for watching this video, and bye.